How are you? All right. So now on to the YinLong video. In February last year, about 1 year ago, I visited the YinLong factory over in Zhuhai, China. It's pretty interesting. They build the battery banks for commercial usages. So it's mainly high voltage electric buses, commercial UPSs and stuff like that. So yeah, let's take a walk through some of the factory. And good thing was that the guy actually managed to smuggle me into the production area, and I managed to get some sneak pictures of it. So here they are. Check it out. All right, folks. So this is the exterior of the building. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Look, it's a very huge complex. So yeah, it's no more the YinLong signboard. It's called GREE now. GREE ALTAIRNANO. So yep, that's the building. It's an office building. So here's the front, and there's a showroom at the side. So yeah, I totally forgot to take a video of the showroom, but yeah, got some pictures. So first up is you see the battery specifications and all. Yeah, and what is its usage mainly is for heavy duty, so electric, like mostly electric buses and forklifts and heavy loaders. Yep, you can see forklifts as well, right? And these are the battery banks that they built. Oh, yep. And this is what it's mainly high voltage systems. It's all in one with the BMS, everything on inside. Those are some cool bus, man. Right? So yeah, that's another battery pack. And yeah, more battery packs. So yeah, they also are starting on the power for UPS systems. So in certain regions where power is not stable, they actually build these UPS uninterrupted power supplies to supply to the public. So yeah, starting from 5 kilowatts onwards. So these are some of their projects that they do, right? So you have more battery cells over here. And yeah, this was parked outside. This is an electric vehicle that's powered by the YinLong batteries that's used to fumigate the air, basically to clean the air. These are containers of batteries that act as power supplies as well. That's a fast charger, okay, for buses, top mount. And these are the fast chargers for EVs, electric buses and everything. They start from about 120 kilowatts. And this was the little bus that took me around the tour. Okay, it's also an electric bus powered by YinLong batteries. And here it's a facility whereby they test all the batteries. So that's very cool. So yeah, once you get inside the building, there's a little tour guide for you that will explain everything about their business, the batteries, the history and everything. Okay, sped up. Then we have a wall of all their patents for all the designs. All right, first off is we have the dyno for where they test all the battery packs that's hooked up to a bus motor. So that's a little dyno. So they power up the motor and that simulates the bus driving on the road, right? So, or whatever heavy vehicle. That's an electric motor for you. Then in the control room here, as you can see, they have all the specification, the speed, the power being put out all on the board. It's one big dyno room, but for an electric motor. So yeah, you can see the specifications, the discharge of the battery, the speeds, how much power the motor is putting out, and they have a little mock-up as well of the bus. So it's pretty cool. Check it out. All right, and that's the test room. So that's the mock-up of the bus. Right now, this is a room whereby they test out the batteries in various elements to simulate, I think, heat, humidity, and everything. So these are the various machines. So this is an example of a battery pack that it's built up, let's say for an electric bus or electric fan. So this is where they test for vibrations. So if you can see on the left over there, that is where they will mount the battery pack. Yes, can you see on top over there? Okay, that's where the battery pack will be put. And on the right, you can see that's a climate control chamber. That chamber can be moved on top of the battery pack in order to simulate vibrations under various kinds of weather, be it hot and cold. So when we were there, I don't know if the picture you can see clearly. This thing was vibrating, as you can see. So this is how they test for vibration of the battery pack under various elements. This whole thing can go up and down, and the battery pack can go inside. and it'll be tested under various weather conditions. So yeah, so you can see this is the stringent kind of test. Okay, now to the torture test. This is the puncture test, in which they puncture the battery with a nail. So yeah, when you go on a tour, they will demonstrate it for you. You can see over there, the bulb to show that the battery has a charge. And yeah, all right. Boom, nothing. And that's a live battery and it still has charge. So yeah, they tell you, go take a look, go touch it. You know, nothing's coming out. You know, it doesn't burn, doesn't catch fire. This is why I love YinLong batteries. They are the only ones who dare to show this kind of crazy stuff. Okay, overall, see, it still has charge. So the bulb is still lit up. All right. No other battery will show you this. This is their little torture chamber in which you can see they're cutting the batteries open, dropping their batteries from heights, and various stuff, various crazy shit that they will do to the battery. So now, for the fun test, they will literally saw this battery open. I mean, there are lots of these videos online, but seeing it personally, that's interesting. So yes, again, the bulb is there to show you that it's a live battery. You're on it. They put it in the chamber to make sure that nothing flies out. Cut it open. Yeah. And it's all good. See? Nothing. No fire, no fumes. They ask you to touch it. It's a bit hot because, of course, the saw, one big ass saw just went through it. But yeah, still okay. After these torture tests, the batteries are left on the shelf for display to show you that it doesn't catch fire, it doesn't blow up as compared to other chemistries like lithium iron phosphate, which might blow it up. So now this is another room in which they further test environmental factors, heat, to simulate the automotive environment. They have to make sure the batteries work properly and efficiently and effectively in an automotive environment. So more testing is done to ensure that these batteries are safe. Basically, this room is how they test the impact. So what they do is they have all the different apparatus to, you see, impact meter. So I think they put a battery here, or they put a battery pack here, they'll whack it. They'll whack it to see whether if anything happens, if it breaks or not. This is the level of testing that they do for all the batteries for safety. Now, this is a room whereby they QC the raw materials that go into the batteries. So basically, all the raw lithium powders and other elements that come into this factory are tested here first. If they fail, they are chucked out. They are not used because there is zero tolerance for failure. So they have probably chromatographs and electron microscopes to check all the parts, that all the raw materials that come into the factory, to make sure that it's safe for manufacturing. Now, this is the charge and discharge cycle. So what they do is they take random pieces from batches and they run it through the charge and discharge cycle to test it. So as you can see, what they do is they charge it full, then they discharge it. They charge it full, then they discharge it. So they just want to see whether that batch of batteries are good. So I think it's, you can see some of the round cells over there. On their record, because they've only been around for 15 years, their oldest battery that's still being charged and discharged, it's about 15 years old. So numerous cycles, and because YinLongs can last about 20 to 25 years, the grade A ones. So now my guy actually snuck me up into the production area during the lunch break. So we went inside one of the test rooms. So being at lunch, lights were off as the staff they were resting. So I had my little flashlight, so I just made a little video, as you can see. These are the cells that were just built, so they are being cycled through more tests to make sure that they are good. So you can see, all right. So they are being charged and discharged, and there are sensors out there to make sure that the batteries are working properly. Yep. Pretty hardcore. So yeah, I was walking through the corridor. I just managed to snap a few quick pictures. The cells are all built in clean rooms, as you can see. And here are some of the raw materials that I managed to take a picture of. So that concludes the tour of the YinLong facility. So hope you guys enjoyed it. Now you know what kind of tests and QC processes that YinLong does to ensure that their batteries are top notch. And this is the main difference between the A grade and the B grade that you find online. The A grade undergoes all these stringent tests, while the B grades we do not know. Okay, so if the B grades come from unknown sources, we do not know how they are built. But if they are A grade and they are bought from a legit source, you can be sure that these batteries have gone through stringent tests to ensure safety and effectiveness. Thank you very much for your time. Cheers all.